Finding a nice guy in college can be hard enough. But what if you had to find someone that met all of your parents' expectations, both morally and culturally? Meet Kathleen Matthew.
I know that doesn't sound really Indian, but I am Indian and Catholic. My family has been Catholic for a very long time, probably since I think when St. Thomas came, so it's a long, long time ago. For that tradition, what we do is we change our dad's first name actually becomes our last name. So my grandpa's name was Matthew Joseph, so my dad became Leo Matthew, and when we came here we just stayed with the last name Matthew, and all of our first names are pretty white sounding, I guess, and it's all because it's in the Bible. Everyone thinks you're Indian, you have to have an arranged marriage, like you're probably set for marriage at birth, but that's not really the case. My parents actually didn't have an arranged marriage, so I guess it's like a little different in my case because a lot of times they do. But my parents still expect me, I think, like more of just a matter of respect, and they think it's just easier to be married to someone who's Indian. But it is a little difficult because not only do they have to be Indian, they have to be Indian and Catholic and from a certain state, like the state where I'm from, which is hard to find because there aren't a lot of Indian Catholics out there. So definitely going to school in Boston and having like a lot of friends that aren't really Indian or not really knowing a lot of Indian Catholics, it makes dating difficult, I guess, or just trying to find someone like that is hard. I've actually pretty much only dated or seen people that aren't Indian for the most part. My first boyfriend, I guess, was Indian and Catholic just because I thought that was the way to do things when I was probably like 14, but that didn't really work out. I've seen a lot of other people. I think my longest relationship was with a Jewish boy, and that went well, but my parents like knew who he was. They thought he was a friend. I mean, they thought he was really nice, but it was more just like, at the end of the day, you're not going to marry him. Like, you can't marry him. So my parents, my dad, he's told me, you know, like, at the end of the day, I guess you can marry whoever you want, but it's more about it just being easier, because when you marry someone, in my parents' eyes, or like a lot of Indians' eyes, you're marrying the family. So if I married someone who wasn't, like, spoke the same language as my parents or wasn't the same religion, it would be really difficult for the whole family. I understand where they're coming from, so it's like I always would want to ideally marry someone who's Indian and Catholic. I guess right now I can't say I think I would, just because of where my life is and who I'm meeting and not meeting, but I mean, I hope at the end of the day I marry someone that my parents approve of and they don't like hate me for it. So I hope, but I mean, I don't know how possible it is.